Okay, so Westcon-Comstor, you've fairly recently published some research. I think it was called Bridging the Gap. And it sort of the headline finding seems to be that data for the channel is essential in terms of how it can develop anything as a service, or more generally its business. So yeah, I guess just a little bit of background, why you carried it out, and that sort of headline finding.
Sure. I guess the heart of why we started to explore that was we feel in our business as a distributor who sits at the crossroads of data, that data is incredibly important for everything that we're doing. And we see our future is seeped in our data competency and our ability to provide, to manage our data and to provide accurate data, and to use data to help our partners grow, both our vendor partners who are standing behind us and our channel partners in front of us. So we felt that, and we've been investing down that path, developing our competencies. But at one point, we thought, we better make sure that we're not alone here, right? Because we need to understand what's important for our customers. So we went out and we surveyed more than 500 decision makers at MSPs, SIs, even some traditional VARs, big companies, born in the cloud companies, family-owned businesses, multinational globals, a wider range of partners who we do business with across different regions in mature markets like the UK and Australia, and in emerging markets like Indonesia and others. And we wanted to ask them, what were their views on data? How were they seeing it? And how important was it to them? And, that sort of diverse perspective came back. We were thinking that we'd really get some different perspectives. And, we were quite surprised that just across the board, and we were very happy because it confirmed what we felt, 97% of the 500 respondents who participated in the survey felt that data was at the core of their growth and transformation, which meant it was either important or very important. And that was as they're transitioning to software business, as they're moving to subscription models, as they're driving services as a higher percentage of their business. And I think there were only 2% of the groups that said their data management or their data capabilities wasn't a priority for their business. So really, nearly everybody felt that was critical. So that was nice to get that affirmation. They really looked at their data capabilities and understood that there were gaps, that it wasn't something that their whole organization was up to speed with or had the competencies. And so 95% of them identified data as being a key investment priority in the coming year. So I think that really tells the story, right? You've got 500 senior respondents from across multiple markets, different roles in the channel ecosystem, all planning to make 95% of them planning to make investments in their data capabilities because they recognize it's an area that they need to really hone in on and sharpen up if they're going to continue with this transformation and remain competitive. So that was quite interesting for us.
Yeah, and in terms of so data is important to these organizations, but I think the survey uncovered that, again, most of them are struggling with actually sort of collecting, accessing data, and also once they've got, if they do manage to get it, also with the sort of managing and use of it. So yes, they're keen to invest, because right now, I won't say they don't know what they're doing, but they don't seem to have the necessary infrastructure, either before, during, or after the data the data chain. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, absolutely. Surprisingly, 7 in 10, so 70% of the respondents said that they already had some form of an in-house data capability or analytics function that they've invested in and built as a foundation. Now, that can vary between, having just one person who's a data expert or having an entire DNA team. But 7 in 10 felt that they had something. But at the same time, that group also said that they were really struggling with getting access to the right data. And while they had access to data, or they were thinking about it, getting the right data at the right time was really a big challenge. And frankly, the biggest issue is they're getting a deluge of data. They have too much information at their fingertips, and they're not quite sure how to synthesize that and turn that into the right insights that they need to help their business grow. And I think, quite frankly, we're all dealing with that as individuals, right? I think we're all going through information overload, right? Like, there's no shortage of interesting newsletters or posts or sources of content for us, whether it's, video, tweets, posts, emails, newsletters. There's no end to it. But if you're a business that's trying to synthesize data in order to make efficient, on-time decisions that support your business growth, it's really a challenge. And that's one of the biggest struggles that every single partner sort of pointed out for them, especially the ones who've invested in data.
Okay, and that's where an organization such as yourselves sees a potential opportunity, because you yourselves are obviously engaged in the same process, but I guess more successfully, and therefore you are gathering a load of insights which you can potentially share with partners and help them on their journey. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think this was sort of the reason that we wanted to explore this, because we believe that's a big opportunity. But we needed, like I said at the start, we needed to sort of validate that there was a need. And so, while I don't think we have all of the answers, I think we can provide a really good scalable platform for our partners, which in fact is something that distribution has always done, right? Distribution has always been about bringing scale and competency enablement to partners so that they can do their business more effectively. And today, in many ways, that scale and that platform comes from the digital platforms that companies like Westcon are building, where we sit, like I said, at this crossroads of data. We have all of the vendor data behind us because we sell multiple vendors, and all of the channel partners in front of us. And we can understand then where the trends are. Companies who've bought certain types of solutions are most likely to buy what else? Where do we're a big believer in the sort of land, adopt, expand, renew, that sort of life cycle selling model, which is really at the core of the subscription and SaaS world. And as software becomes more and more critical, as things move into subscriptions, a life cycle selling model is critical. And MSPs, your MSP customers know that very well. But getting information about what the trends are, what's happening, not just to their own customer set, but maybe to a broader customer set, starts to give that information in an insightful way to our partners so they can identify the next opportunities, whether that is a specific customer who may have an attach opportunity or an expand opportunity, or an adjacent technology where we have a vendor that has a solution that fits really well, that says, hey, you're selling this effectively. These are the types of things that you might want to expand or add on to your business. Or even just helping with things like adoption, right? Where a distributor like us can receive telemetry data from our vendors that help us understand whether or not end users are having success with their adoption motions. We can work with the partners to say, hey, what does customer success look like? You've sold 50 licenses 6 months ago, and vendor data is coming back and saying you've only activated 20% of those. You might have an adoption issue. Do you need to do some training? And then we can come in with an education offer to help that customer with their adoption. Or maybe there's customer support issues, and we might be able to offer that customer support program to those partners to help support those customers. And ultimately, in that sort of land, adopt, expand, renew piece, there's the whole renewal part, right? And making sure that we manage all the renewal data and information, understanding obviously that we get 100% renewals wherever possible. And if we have information that's coming in early that says maybe a specific solution is end of life, so vendor creates an end of life notice on a specific product, we feed that into our platform. We get a list of all the upcoming renewals for that solution over the next 12 months. And we can start to engage early with our partners about having a refresh discussion with the customer. Hey, this is a product that's not renewing, but there's an upgrade and a refresh opportunity. That attaches more loyalty, more service. It's a much easier sell. It's a much better process. So all of that is data-driven. Every single point in that process is data-driven. And in many cases, we believe a company like Westcon, with our data and analytics platform and where we sit in the ecosystem, we can really surface that data to our partners to help them grow their business, maintain their customers, provide better support. Yeah, and live in the data age, really, which is what we're all trying to do.
Yeah, and to that point, and apologies if what you've just described is it, but I know you've recently introduced the Partner Insights tool. So is that
Correct,
what you've been
yeah.
describing, or is that a specific solution?
That is a part of what we're describing, and it's also the evolutionary path for Partner Insights. So Partner Insights is one part of our Partner Central marketplace. So marketplaces for us are, it's not just a place to go and transact like Amazon.com. Marketplaces are places where, traditionally marketplaces, they're places where buyers and sellers meet, and they exchange goods, they exchange ideas, they share new technologies. I mean, fundamentally, that's what marketplaces have been doing since the dawn of civilization in one sense or another. Now we're living in digital marketplaces, and it's natural that as a distributor, we'd be bringing our buyers and sellers together. So our channel partners, whether they're MSPs, SIs, VARs, whether they're part of a channel ecosystem, so partner-to-partner support, and of course, our vendor partners who are bringing their technologies in, right, and sort of introducing them or building solution sets. So we've got Partner Central, which is our marketplace model, and Partner Insights is a portion of that where partners can come in and get specific information about their business with us so they can get deep data insights into the opportunities that exist within their business. Those could be all the upcoming renewals. Those could become looking back at, let's say, in a specific market, we do one little piece of recent added data insight or nugget we've added is a comparison of their top 5 vendors versus a basket of their peers. So if it's a global SI in a specific market like the UK, we'd say, this is how 5 other global SIs who are in your competitive space are performing with the same top 5 vendors you have. So you can see, is your business growing? Is their business growing? And you can look for trends that might alert you to where you're ahead or where there may be opportunities for you to put more focus. Our partners love it. Our vendors love it. And it's just a really valuable insight. And it's done securely and confidentially in a way that helps them grow. So those types of things. And in the future, we'll be adding these sort of lifecycle selling motions. So here's all your expand opportunities, right? You've sold 15 firewalls to these 20 customers. And by the way, 80% of these firewall customers typically buy a threat detection solution or an attack surface management piece. And here's, by the way, some of the offers that might match up with the types of end users you've been selling to based on their profiles, for example. And we can present that as an opportunity or an insight. And we also present that, by the way, to our sellers, the account managers who take care of these accounts. So while the partners may take them time to get to the point where they're really going into Partner Insights and examining those things because it's a change, we do give it to our sellers so our account managers can talk to their partners and say, hey, Phil, check this out. Like, have you seen what's up in Partner Insights? I see these opportunities. You should go check these out. This might be some growth opportunities for us to go explore. And that just, really strengthens the bond and the trust between us and our partners. We've been supporting their growth for 40 years since we've been doing this at Westcon and Comstor. But now we're just really putting data at the heart of it. So it's just a slightly different approach, but it's making it a little bit easier, a little bit faster, a little bit more accurate. It's not all hunch, right? We can back it up. There's still some art, to the whole process, but now we can support it. And for those partners who are really ready to get on that data path, it's there for them. So we see this evolving over the years. We're pretty excited about the platform. We're really focused on developing our own people's capabilities and building up our own data competencies within our teams, and then helping our partners go through that same journey. So, it's the same stuff we've always been doing for our partners in a very trusted way, but, now with data at the heart of it and with a digital interface sometimes as well.
Okay. And you've also launched, and again, some of what you've been saying might be covered by, but you've launched Tech ConneX as well for any reason, which I think you say is all about sharing knowledge,
yeah,
which we've been talking about. So yeah, it would be great to understand, where that fits within the overall.
Absolutely. So we recognize that, inside of our partners, again, this is very partner focused stuff. and I say our partners, I mean primarily to our channel partners, so the MSPs, the SIs, folks who read your publications, for example. We recognize there are many personas that exist. I mean, you can have a big organization that has a procurement or a purchasing part of it, and they might want to go into partner insights and see what makes sense or look at their renewals data. You have sellers who are looking for, where can I quickly find some insights to get new sales and hit my quota? But the part that we really also care about is the technology community. And they really, in many ways, are the critical part of the partner community that drive the most value, frankly, with the end users. So we created the Tech Expert platform. And Tech Expert is a user group that creates a community, really, of technology members from our channel ecosystem where they can share ideas, where we can share information, give best practices, help them path their route to certification in a fun community-based tool, right? So that's the Tech Expert. And we've just extended that to be Tech ConneX, which is really a data platform across the IT channel where they can better share information. And ideally, what we're expecting to do is to integrate Tech ConneX also into Partner Central and Partner Insights, so that the personas from our channel partners who want to come into a platform, share information, map out competency pathways, participate in open forums and discussions without a pure vendor slant, because we're somewhat vendor neutral. I mean, obviously we have our selected vendors who we focus on, but we're not just the voice of one single vendor. So we can discuss some options with the focus, obviously, for us, it's cybersecurity, networking, and hybrid cloud. Now, those are the areas that we focus on. They're really helping our technology personas and our partners to really have a place that they can go and get information from.
I mean, maybe just in summary, it'd be good to understand there's a lot of things you're doing, combination of things we talked about, the Partner Insights, Tech ConneX, the Tech Expert, just how powerful you think that is in terms of providing partners with insights, both technology and business-wise, and maybe just, do you think industry leading what you're doing? How does it compare with other offerings that might be out there?
Sure. Yeah, well, thank you. So in summary, I definitely think that what we're doing there may be people who are doing things that are just as good. I don't think there's anybody doing exactly the same. But certainly we recognize, and everybody does, that the industry is focused and moving down this path of being data-driven. I mean, you don't have to go far to hear that term, data-driven, right? And we know that we're moving out of the industrial age into the information age, right? I mean, there are still factories producing things, but more and more it's information, and it's the information age which is driving value. And oil is, data is the oil of the information age. So understanding data, building companies around data, enabling our channel partners to build success around data is core to what we do. I think we're trying to look at this from every persona within the channel partner community, whether it's sellers who need information to help them sell more, owner-operators who want to drive profit and keep up with their competition, purchasing, procurement, and operation, people who want everything at their fingertips so they can get to it easily, or the technology community that wants to build up pathways for their own competency skills and to share ideas with others and learn from others' mistakes and have a knowledge base of information across our vendors. All of those can be served through a data-driven approach at their fingertips, highly digitized. But I will say, at the core of all that is still our people at Westcon, who are the ones that are trusted by our partners and the reason that we've been around for all these years. By giving them access to data, helping them develop their competencies, helping them become more data literate, it will in turn help our partners. They'll become more efficient and will become more automated. Which is obviously critical in today's world to be more productive. But really, it's about making our people better. A great quote on AI I heard recently, and maybe I'll just end it with this, is AI isn't going to take away anybody's job, except for those people who don't use AI. right? And it's basically the same thing with data, right? So we think of data as being this great optimization tool and productivity tool, and wow, I don't need people because I can just get all the data. Well, not really. We still think people are at the heart of what we do, but if we enable them with good data, they can be even better. That includes our people, though that includes our partners who we rely on, and even our vendors behind us who we support. So I think fundamentally, it's just an evolution of what we've always been doing. And yeah, that's how we want to see it go forward. We're pretty excited about the path we're on, though.
Okay, I mean, it's been lovely to chat, Patrick. Some fascinating insights as to what you're doing and ideas for folks to absorb, but really appreciate your time. Thank you.